Family-friendly. The candlelight flickered against the stone walls, and her hand trembled when she set down the goblet. She thought I did not notice, but I always notice. It was in the silence between us, the kind that stretches too long, the kind that isn't peace, but concealment. She smiled, though her eyes betrayed her. A look darted toward the door, so brief most men would dismiss it. I was not most men. That glance told me everything. I leaned back, my fingers grazing the rim of my own cup. Her voice tried to fill the void with empty chatter about the harvest, the markets, the petty lives of servants. I let her speak. Words were her shield. Silence was mine. Then, like the sudden crack of a blade against armor, came the slip. A name, whispered with too much softness. A name I should not have heard from her lips. It did not belong to me. The world did not collapse. It never does. Not at once. Instead, it shifted. Quietly. Cruelly. In that instant, I knew the fortress of our life was hollow. And when empires are hollow, they fall. I did not speak. I did not question. Suspicion is a seed. If you dig too early, you kill it. Better to water it, watch it grow, let it reveal its roots. I listened instead. Every word she spoke from that night forward became a clue, every pause a confession. She touched me with the same hands that touched him, whoever he was. The first betrayal is not the act itself, it is the performance. She moved through our home as if her lies were invisible, as if my eyes had grown blind. But I saw. I always saw. At night, when she believed me asleep, she crept from the bed with an excuse, water, a prayer, a restless mind. The truth was in the way her steps hurried at the threshold. There was a time I would have reached for her, demanded her honesty. But no, truth given is fragile, breakable. Truth taken, truth stolen from the shadows, that is unshakable. So I stayed silent. I buried my rage beneath calculation. Empires do not fall by passion. They fall by patience. Days stretched into weeks. I became two men, one she saw, and one she never would. The man she saw was calm, unbroken, affectionate even. I shared meals, spoke of politics, planned the next season's trade. I kissed her forehead before sleep. The man she never saw moved through shadows. I bribed servants for whispers. I studied her letters, the wax seals, the faint smell of another's perfume that clung to parchment. I traced patterns in her absence, the hours she disappeared, the places she claimed to be. Patience sharpened me. Every silence, every stolen glance, every trembling hand told me more than words ever could. Then came the records. Transactions hidden beneath false names. Coins sent to a house beyond the city walls. A house. A name. I waited still. Waiting is the art of kings and killers alike. I visited the place myself, at dusk, hidden beneath a hood. Through the window I saw her. And him. His hand brushed her cheek with a tenderness I had not felt in years. She smiled, not the polite smile she gave me, but the one born of freedom, of choice. That night, as I lay beside her in our bed, I memorized the curve of her breath, not with love, with calculation. For even love, when betrayed, becomes strategy. Family-friendly. She unrolled it. Her eyes widened, skin paling with each line she read. Her lips trembled with words she could not form. I said nothing. Silence is crueler than anger. At last she whispered, "You knew." I met her gaze. I always knew. She wept then, collapsing into tears, a performance of guilt and fear, but tears, like empires, are meaningless once the foundation is gone. Revenge is not fire, it is ice. Fire consumes quickly, foolishly. Ice endures, freezing everything in its path until nothing survives. I stood, left her with the scrolls, and walked to the chamber door. "Tell him," I said quietly, "that his empire is ashes before it began." She flinched, as though struck. "Please," I turned, my voice calm, measured. Every coin traced, every letter copied, every meeting witnessed. His family, his patrons, his allies, they already know. I made sure of it before you read a single word. Her eyes widened with horror. She understood. His name, once whispered with softness, would now be spoken with scorn. His reputation broken, his house ruined. I gave her no anger, no violence. I gave her silence. Silence that would outlive her tears. That night I left her chambers. The fortress no longer felt like home. It was a tomb. I walked the corridor slowly, my hand grazing the stone, remembering the empire we had built together, an empire founded on trust. Now only dust remained. Did I mourn? Perhaps once, but not now. Now I understood the truth empires never teach. Betrayal does not end you, it sharpens you. As the dawn broke, I stood at the gates and looked out over the city. The world had not changed, but I had. She would live with her shame, he would drown in his ruin, and I would walk away with clarity. Empires crumble, but I do not. I am the silence that survives.